Like a Yoruba proverb which says, taking hot pap requires a great deal of patience. Such scenario has become the situation for the administration of President Bola Tinubu regarding Nnamdi Kanu's case. The Senate has rejected a political solution to the continued detention of the leader of the proscribed Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. The Senate also urged the federal government to collaborate with the Finnish government to extradite the self-acclaimed leader of IPOB in Finland, Simon Ekpa, who is instigating illegal sit-at-home in the southeast for prosecution. Meanwhile, Kanu himself has declared an end to the sit-at-home in the southeast. In a handwritten letter, the IPOB leader stated that anyone engaging in any sit-at-home in the region is no longer his disciple. Jide, will this put an end to the Monday sit-at-home effectively? Nnamdi Kanu has written. I saw the handwritten letter.
It's difficult to say, to conclude that this, by this Nnamdi Kanu's position, that sit-at-home has come to an end. I have said before that IPOB, which instituted this brand of civil disobedience in the Southeast, already told them that there will be no sit-at-home except on days when Nnamdi Kanu is being taken to court. But these boys...
See it come on the
yes, no go. But these boys don't want to know whether Nnamdi is taken to court or not. Every Monday, they enforce sit-at-home. Cultists, brigands, and other never-do-wells have already hijacked the struggle. And, you know, we said before that even Kanu, where he is, could not have sanctioned what they were doing, because this sit-at-home inflicts pain on the people. It leads to loss of lives. It leads to bad business for the people. So why would you, if you say you are fighting for people and that their interests are your interests, why would you stop them from making their money on Mondays? So, frankly, I don't know whether this is enough, because if in the past he said, look, Ima Powerful is the spokesperson of IPOB, and even with Kanu in detention, Ima Powerful has been the main, has been the person speaking for the group. Ima Powerful announced that, look, except Kanu is going to court, no sit-at-home. These boys didn't listen. Before the Anambra governorship election, it was Ima Powerful that announced that, look, our people can go and vote. Before then, they were threatening that there will be no election unless we allow them to hold a referendum. A referendum is not known to the Nigerian Constitution. So who will allow you to have a referendum on whether you want to remain in the Nigerian state? Of course, nobody will agree to that. So if the thing continued despite the fact that the people who started it said, look, enough, we are not interested anymore, it's difficult for me to say, because Kanu has now written a letter to that effect, that it will not happen. Because these boys, I don't think these boys who are enforcing this thing, I don't think they are ready to listen to any of this. They could be saying that, look, unless Kanu is released, we will not stop. And you know, one of our friends started a political movement. We saw what happened to him at a particular point. So I don't know. Tomorrow I will know whether. Let's see what happens. It's difficult to predict that because of this, that they are going to stop. Because those boys, they are the ones who can explain what they are gaining. And then on the issue of Simon, We already even suggested here that the next Minister of Foreign Affairs, that should be his project. Get the Finnish authorities to arrest this boy and put him on trial. They may not put him on trial here. If they put him on trial over there, what is important, let them lock him away. They don't have to bring him here because I'm sure for them to send him here, there has to be an extradition trial. Most countries will never agree to what happened in Kenya with Nnamdi Kanu. There will have to be an extradition trial. And how long are we going to wait for an extradition trial? So it's better on their own, the Finnish authorities look at some of what he has said, citing statements he has made about his nation, and then put him in the slammer. So that will be, we will be happy to have them do that for us.
Let me start by saying that when you get involved in acts of terrorism or defiance to the state, it gets to a point that you will not be able to control. It becomes a movement, and it will be difficult for you to control it. I've said it before, I'm repeating it. IPOB is now bigger than Kanu. Kanu is not in a position to control because a lot of the boys have gone rogue. They've tasted power, they are enjoying that power, and they are not really answerable to Kanu. Because if you notice, like he said, several times IPOB officials have said, oh, we are not supporting sit at home. But there are people going around making sure that people comply with that. If they don't comply, they visit them with a lot of violence. And fear is the key. When people are fearful of something, they will obey because they know that these people will come after them. That's one. Two, if you know Ekpa, we have allowed those in our foreign ministry under the last dispensation should be ashamed of their decision as leaders. If they had stopped this Ekpa nonsense early enough, we will not be in the position we are now. They've turned Ekpa to a superstar. And this man will sit in his comfort in Finland and be directing things. I watched one of his videos, I think this particular one, because he has declared 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He declared 2 weeks stay at home. 2 weeks.
Tomorrow, yes.
So he declared,
of July.
he declared 2 weeks stay at home. And he was saying, no, yes, and not only that, he was telling people, he was inciting people to attack security agents. In this video that he was saying, he said, because in Enugu, the governor of Enugu said they should seal shops that did not open, that comply with the sit at home. Yes. And because of that, there was like a riot and all that. So he now said that he has gotten information that they attacked their men and that he's giving them that anywhere they see security agents, they should attack them. And we allow him to be doing that. We should be, when this guy started editing, we have enough evidence.
Anytime he's doing his live broadcast, if you see the number of YouTube views,
that's what I'm saying.
4,000, 500, 6,000, 8,000.
Because the problem is that when you key into so-called liberalization of people, there are people that have this belief, this consciousness that, oh, the Nigerian state is not fair to us. So when they see somebody claiming to speak on their behalf, of course they will tune in and watch. Because if you look at it, most of the people tuning in are in the diaspora. Most of the people doing this self-determination thing, most of them are in the diaspora. They are not even here. It is the people here that are bearing the brunt of what they are doing. But my problem is that if the government had written through diplomatic channels to Finland to say, look, this guy is doing this thing against the Nigerian state, I'm sure Finland will have deported this guy. But they didn't do that. They allowed him to be doing all this nonsense. So now that the Senate is
such a big nuisance.
Yes. Now I think they will do the needful. It is important. No country will allow you to do the kind of thing he's doing against a sovereign state. So if we put our situation, all his clips, all his audio and then write a petition to the Finnish government, I'm sure they will deport him because he's not supposed to be doing what he's doing. For the Senate that said they do not agree to a political solution to Kanu's problem, I also do not agree with the Nigerian Senate. I think Kanu's situation deserves a political situation. If we sit down with him, if the Nigerian government officials sit down with him and his lawyers, give him conditions that he must be met, you understand, and allow some people of thought from Southeast to stand as guarantor to those agreed terms, then they should allow him to go. Because being in detention is not serving the purpose that he's supposed to serve. Yes, you kept him there, but you have not been able to solve this problem. Sometimes it is not, sometimes, even in war, during war, people still come down to negotiate.
Yes.
Even when even Ukraine and Russia, they were fighting each other, before they sat down and agreed to this grain deal, that they should still allow them to sell grains. So I believe that Kanu's case deserves a political solution.
Even Putin was saying yesterday also that he has never ruled out a peaceful resolution of the matter.
Yeah.
So war does not solve all problems. There are times when you have to come out of the war to sit down around the table and discuss the future. I think that the person who brought that motion the first time, he didn't do his homework well.
Yes.
They had just resumed. They had just been inaugurated as senators, and you brought such a matter. Kanu's matter is an emotive matter. People must admit that.
Care.
It's an emotive matter, and an emotive matter, before you can bring it up, you have to do extensive work on your colleagues.
Yeah.
You have to reach out to them. It's just like when even this electoral act, the matter of electronic transmission, you saw that it scattered both houses.
Yeah.
They had to make concessions here and there before it was agreed. Okay, let us go. I remember even the way the former deputy speaker, people felt that the former deputy speaker of the House did not handle the situation well. But it's an emotive matter, and people took side along north and south. Yeah. So Kanu's matter is like that. A good number of our people in northern Nigeria, given some of the insults that Kanu had been recorded saying about people from that area, it will be difficult for you to just tell them that, look, you have to work on them. You have to work on them. So if you didn't do enough, if you didn't do your homework well, and you just thought that by presenting the motion that people will support you, not on a matter like Kanu, because this is a man who looked at all of us and said we are living in a zoo. This is a man who
has contempt for northerners.
Yes.
Extreme contempt.
This is a man who told people to be destroying properties here in Lagos, especially properties that they felt belong to Asiwaju. You know, so people will remember those things.
No.
So if you really want to, want to bring up a matter relating to Kanu's freedom, honestly, you need to do a thorough homework. It's not something that you can just wake up one day and present to them. Of course, they will shoot it down. The whole house, you have to work on them thoroughly and get everybody.
They have the number.
Yes, they will defeat you with a number, but you need to get them to see the merits in having it. And people will ask questions. Okay, if we do this, who are the people who have some leverage on him, who have some that he respects? Remember the late Zulike Amechi, the First Republic Minister of Aviation. He said Kanu respects him a lot, and that he promised the president that if you release him to me, I guarantee you that those things that I was doing, he will no longer do it. But Buhari is not the kind of person to even suggest that to.
He wants for special rendition.
It just after all that, you now say, oh yeah, release, he went to the extent of saying, look, the matter is in court, let the court. And I know that when we want to achieve a political solution, all it takes is the lawyers of both sides, get them on board. They are the ones who will tell the judge that we want to discontinue the matter. So the matter can be discontinued, but the president gave the impression like, oh, his hands were tied because the matter was before the court. How many matters before the courts have we discontinued?
He has the power.
That's
discontinue.
Yes,
the way when you want to punish somebody.
Yes.
When you want to punish somebody, you can say that, okay, court, because they will continue to
let's
go there.
leave the court
If there is a
aside.
case, they will bring another one, and the guy will continue to be there. That's what happened. The court has ruled severally that he should be released from detention. He was not released because they brought another case. So the court cannot solve the problem. I think Kanu is also part of the problem because the things he was saying, the things he was doing.
No, you annoyed a lot of people.
Yes, but it's important that if we sit with him and his lawyers
sign
and
kind of undertaking that
yes,
renounce
his
agitation.
If they agree to say,
referendum
look, these are the things we are doing
recognized
against the Nigerian state, which the state is not going to accept. And we are giving you these conditions, the armed struggle and all that. They give the conditions. If they agree to the conditions, then they will have some people.
Yes,
they will have some people. Yes, they will have some people who will now sound as guarantor to that agreement, so that he will not come out and say, "I'm not going to agree to. I've changed my mind about what we agreed upon." Then they cannot ask him to go, because the problem is that his followers, even the Kanu, this thing is even beyond Kanu now. Kanu cannot control these boys. They've gone rogue.
A lot those boys.
They've gone rogue.
Did not witness the civil war.
Yes, a lot of criminals have joined that movement.
They don't know what war means. So to convince them that, look, if you plunge your zone into a war against the Nigerian state, they will lose terribly. They don't even, they don't know. They don't know the suffering that people went through. A lot of people talk about war who sit on social media and ask for war. Somebody was comparing what happened in Niger to what happened here. So are you saying that what happened in Niger should happen here? Some of us lost our friends to military rule.
No, military rule is... That's
fashionable.
So
we are past that. God will not allow us to go back to that.
No.
We are past the military.
So because some of those situations are similar, does that mean that, are you suggesting that that sort of thing should happen here? Do you know what?
But even what is going on in Niger, for example, is madness.
Honestly,
I read a report where they are telling the Minister of Finance that he must give accounts.
Yeah, unless you
that what kind of nonsense is that? It was not the president. He got an appointment, he's doing something. And he said he should give
that was kind of like a baby.
That's what I'm saying, that you face fire risk. How can you say that? That's madness. So those ones are joking.
Kill him, somebody.
He's already a living dead. Because at a point I thought he wanted to even try to regain his composure.
No.
He stopped, then picked his reading glasses.
You understand?
There's no hope of going to court. There's no hope of doing anything. They'll kill him.
As he was trying to read it, he burst into a fresh...
Because they said that he's going to face firing squad for doing just nothing. What did he do? He got an appointment and he was working as a finance minister. How will you now...
If you had stolen money.
The same military that some stupid boys and girls went to Minister of Defense to beg them to come and
take over.
We passed that.
Too young to know the impact of a military rule.
They don't know.
People were fired at, people were killed, people like Kudirat Abiola were killed.
Then the referendum that they were saying, I tell people that it is not only in Nigeria that people want to agitate to be alone. The Basque region in Spain they've been on it forever.
And but in our own case,
Spain didn't allow them to go.
In our own case, there is no...
Spain didn't allow them to go.
There is no provision for a referendum.
Yes, we don't have provision for a referendum.
Conduct it? Who will even agree that, yes, indeed, you are passed?
Thank you, Mayor Akipolu. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
And the maestro himself, Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Thank you for your contribution. And that's our offering this Sunday. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of Journalist Hangout by 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.